is absolutely amazing. I'm just tongue-tied just talking about it, thinking about it.
Yes, I'm a favorite now.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Being Movement, where we inspire you to take action, influence you to create change, and motivate you for success. Hi, I'm your host and coach, Len DeCarmine. We're going to be talking about how to live a healthy lifestyle with autism. But before I do that, allow me to introduce my two favorite co-hosts, the one, the only, Fred Martinez and Christopher Shiver. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Len.
What? Yes.
I'm going to comment on your hat. Did you buy them all from Costco, man? Because you buy them in bulk. It's like, how many hats do you have?
Listen, man, I love this hat. I love this company. I love this brand. I'm always feeling lucky, and it goes with my backdrop, and it goes with our colors. I need to get you two guys to match.
I'm not wearing a hat.
You don't have to wear a hat on you don't have to wear the hat on show, but I want to get our logo on the side.
All right. I'm down for that.
That'd be cool.
How about a Kango?
A what?
A Kango hat.
I have to look into a Kango hat. I'm not sure what that is.
Look it up.
I will look it up, Fred Martinez. Christopher Shiver, what's going on?
Learning more and more about how to get by in 2020, 2021. I've realized that I've gained a crap ton of skill sets from the whole experience. And, I've realized that, when you actually have something kind of like, when you actually get pressure on you and you set a goal for yourself and you try to go get it, it's amazing what you'll get out of it. So actually, making the excuse that, times are hard or whatever reasons you can make up for not doing something, it's actually the perfect reason to do something, because that just the harder it is, just the more you're going to get out of it.
First, I love it. Hopefully we can use some of those skill sets so you can practice a little bit, because I know our guest is ready to share, ready to pump it up. We have Jimmy Clare with us tonight. He is a motivational speaker and autism advocate and the author of The Crazy Fitness Guy. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. What's going on?
Not much. Just trying to get rid of all the bad memories of 2020.
What bad memories are you suffering from?
Let me see. Being cooped up in my house all day.
Yeah, how do you say crazy fit?
Fitness guy.
I get to work out in my basement.
There you go. There you go, buddy. You got to keep that motivation going, even though you might have that little dark cloud. You got to keep that pump going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It doesn't.
Fred Martinez knows about the pump. Fred, why don't you share with Jimmy a little bit about your background?
I don't know. I want to talk about me, Jimmy. I want to know about what you're doing and how you're staying fit.
Well, that's important, Fred. We're going to get there. But Jimmy doesn't know a lot about you. And I think you would actually be a great role model.
Jimmy, I used to be a Division I athlete. I've been an athlete for 40 years of my life. I also compete in Olympic style weightlifting, and I've been doing that for about 20 years of my life. My goal was to try and make the Olympic team trials. That didn't happen, but I still compete with my sport and just love it. And just 2020, what I ended up doing was all the gyms were closed. I ended up going to the parking lots. So just trying to be more adaptive to the current situation that we're in, because most people tend to live their life as just making excuses. And whereas I want to be of action.
I definitely don't like excuses.
That's right, Jim. We don't like excuses. And that's why I wanted Fred to share with you, because I think we're going to have a great conversation, because both of you have a great background in fitness, and it's something that you both love. And that's why I thought it was important for Fred to share that, so he knew a little bit more about it, so we could have a more well-rounded show to share with people how they can stay healthy in these times, and especially those who are dealing with autism, because I know you're a strong advocate for that. And I know you're going to be sharing a little bit about that with us this evening on how people with autism can stay healthy and with fitness and eating right. So I'm excited to have you on. Now, Fred, you weren't, before I cut you off there, which I apologize, you were asking Jimmy a question. What was that?
Jimmy, I want to know what you're doing in order to staying fit and healthy during this this COVID time.
Well, I'm doing a lot of Beachbody on demand workouts, which is filled with everything from Beachbody. They used to, back then, like years ago when I first started, I used to do P90X, but then they and that's when they had DVDs, fitness DVDs. Now they have everything on the on-demand library, $100 a year. Can't beat the price.
Right.
And I work out 3 days to that, and then I do 3 days of kickboxing classes on Zoom.
Oh, that's awesome. I ended up doing the P90X back when it was in DVD. So somebody actually gave me the DVD. So I actually went through it and tried it out. So that individual, he really makes you know how to get a real good pump and a real good burn.
Except when me and my dad first did it, we did the wrong way. We were supposed to do we did the test to see if we could do it, but before that, we had a prompt. There was a prompt on the screen that says, "Consult with your doctor before doing this." And it was just like 6 p.m. at night, and it's like, I'm starting it now or never. So, and at the end of the first day, we were basically crawling up the stairs.
But look, you survived it, and you looked at it as now or never. I love that attitude. And
plus, what I also learned from that is don't shy away from tough when something is really hard, because I got through all of that. I think in total I did like 3 rounds of P90X, not back to back, but I did like once just to lose the 30 pounds that I needed to lose, and then I did it like 2 more times just to see if I could still do it. But then I just stopped at that.
So Jimmy, which one did you find the most challenging portion of the working out with using DVDs or working out via Zoom?
I think the only hard part sometimes is just my internet connection. And I would have to say that because in my basement, for whatever reason, everything just gets cut off all the time. And it's like, you're just doing a workout, and it's like, there's a set 3, and it just freezes. And it's like, okay, Verizon, screw you. Like $300 a month is not worth it.
It's exactly the issues of today, isn't it? It's just God, why?
And then you have Comcast raising putting data caps on people's data in their own homes. Congratulations! Right during the pandemic, that's nice.
Wow, I didn't even know about they're putting caps on people, because then that limits you, because I guess there's so many people working from home also.
Yeah, it's really funny that it's not costing them any extra money, but they're just being cold-hearted.
Right. So Jimmy, what got you involved in wanting to get into fitness?
I was bullied since elementary school, and I stopped it in high school. And so I lost the 30 pounds that I needed to lose. And I got tired of my doctors keep telling me, well, it wouldn't hurt that if you lose some weight. I was like, thanks, doc. And I was like, have someone to filter there. I'm like, congrats. And so I lost the weight. And like I said, I did P90X. It took me 90 straight days to do it. And I started building muscle. I had a split decision whether or not if I should confront the bullies in math class or I should just face them in the hallway. But I had a concern. If I did in the hallway, I didn't know if the security cameras was actually working. It was like, are they for decoration or I'm not really sure. And so I really felt bad for my math teacher because I interrupted his class, and I liked my math teacher, just not math itself. And so I decided to interrupt it just to have witnesses around me. And I looked at the bullies and both of their eyes and yelled at them on top of my lungs. I got sent down to principal's office. The principal never expelled me, never gave me detention or anything, because I was sticking up for myself and my friends, because my friends were getting picked on as well. And right after that, the bullies started wanting to become friends with me too, and say, "Oh, now because I put a little muscle on, now you want to become my friends." Interesting.
You showed them, that was the thing. You showed them that you can't be picked on anymore. And they realized that you weren't a victim, because then you became a victor because of your mindset on you're not going to take that crap anymore, and proud for that you did that. And so you just like rearranged the equations. If you think about it, it was in math class, you rearranged the equations of life for you. So how did that make you feel about that when you stood up for yourself?
It really felt good, and it really felt good to also interrupt the math class, because I don't like math at all, but I really did feel bad for doing that, but I just couldn't take it anymore, and to risk doing it in the hallway where it might get ugly, and I didn't want it to get ugly because I'm not a violent person. And I knew karate when I was younger, and then had to take 10 years off of that. So I knew I could get myself. I knew how to defend myself if I needed to, but I didn't want to do any fist. No thanks.
Sparring's a lot more fun than fighting, right?
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
Doesn't need to be a remake of Fight Club.
Yeah, let's not do that. Good.
Oh, wait. Jimmy, you violated the first rule.
Oh, yeah. You can't talk about Fight Club. My bad.
Exactly.
I don't think we've ever talked about Fight Club on this show ever before. That was like the first time. But I'm kind of curious though myself. Like, so like that couldn't have been the first time you met adversity in your life.
No, I basically my whole life story is adversity. I went through 9 ear surgeries. I had 6 wisdom teeth pulled. I had 3 surgeries in one day before. I was told by doctors I wouldn't be able to walk without braces or crutches. Never used either one of them. And I was also told by people that I would never be able to read more than a 2nd grade level, and I'm reading at a college level.
Jeez, like all those limiting beliefs just put on you. Like there's not even yours.
Nope.
No, I know, and that's why I brought Jimmy on, because I thought he would be a great person to share how he overcame, those limiting beliefs. When everybody was telling him, no, you can't do this, he really shattered everybody's idea of who he is and became an extraordinary person. So Jimmy, I congratulate you on being able to take yourself and move yourself and go through all that pain to get to where you are now, attending college, having your own podcast, creating and being the founder of the Crazy Fitness Guy, and everything that you're looking to do. So I really applaud you on that. So I just want to say, keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Because people out there need somebody like you who's taking a stand, where you stood up against those bullies. They need to hear your message about how to do that, and how to become healthy and how to become, bigger than who you are, and not to be put down by what people think who you should be.
Definitely. Uh, Funny story real quick. There's
Yeah.
well, not really funny, but I kind of back in seventh grade, while I was in a bunch of special needs classes, and I didn't know the difference because I just thought every classroom looked the same because, building designs, they just shove stuff in where they shove stuff in, and it's like, oh, I guess this is what a normal classroom size looks like. I don't know. And so everyone had different like reading levels, and I was at that time I was reading all the Harry Potter books,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so glad I was able to challenge myself to read them. I mean, I'm not saying that they were hard, to the people when I was younger who told me I wasn't going to read at a second grade, I was only going to be able to read at a second grade level. I knew I needed to push myself in order to keep improving reading.
Yeah.
And so I try to read like an hour or two every day. And sometimes if it's not for an hour, just even 30 minutes or even 20 minutes. And it can be anything. It could be from my newsfeed reader app, or it could be a book. But I just I kind of owe it to those Harry Potter books and J.K. Rowling, because I don't think I could have ever gotten myself into reading those books, because I really love the Harry Potter books, and I watch the movies every single time when they're on TV, and even though I have all the DVDs in my room. I was like, let's watch 6 hours. Let's watch 6 hours of commercials, not any DVDs. Great.
Well, Jimmy, you should be really really happy about that, even though you might not think that's something big. Those books are pretty thick. I mean, that's a lot of reading for anybody to go through, and you were able to get through those books when you were said that you wouldn't be able to. So that's a huge
I read those
accomplishment
all in a year
life.
too.
So Jimmy, I want to ask you this. I know there's people out there who are being bullied in life, for all different reasons. What advice can you give them so that they can be more confident in themselves, or if they need to stand up to those bullies, what they should do?
Well, I would say keep reporting them to the principals.
Mm-hmm.
I had this one principal who, I mean, there was like 3 principals in my middle school and 4 principals in my high school. A little overkill, in my opinion. But I had this one principal in middle school. It took him literally 100 times to finally figure out in his head that he should supposed to be doing something. And I'm like, gee, do I have to write a map for you to figure this out? Or and so I would say keep pursuing the principals, and if that doesn't work, go to the head principal, and if that doesn't work, go to the superintendent. Go over their head. I've gone over to many heads before, in companies and a lot of other places. If one support person doesn't work, go to the manager. It works 99.9% of the time. And,
Sure. So keep trying to find ways to find somebody that can successfully help you in dealing with the issue.
Yeah.
In a peaceful way.
Yeah, and I would also suggest is talk to your teachers about it, because my 7th grade teacher, who was also my 8th grade teacher and who I still stay in touch with today, she has helped me a lot with those bullies as well, because when the principal didn't necessarily believe me, she also went up for bat for me as well, and she's like, I've seen this outside my classroom, you got to do something. And at first he didn't believe her either, but she kept persisting and persisting. And it's like, this guy is like, how did he get a principal job?
Sure.
Hand it out to anybody.
Hey, Jimmy, I wanted to ask you about when you stood up against those bullies and you said that they wanted to be your friend. Did you become their friend?
No, but we kind of had, we kind of just nodded our heads at each other in the hallway, like, okay, I should not mess with this person. He's not on my radar to bully anymore. And we might just say hi in the hallway, but that's it. I mean, just out of like mutual respect. I mean, I wouldn't even say respect, but just a respect as a human being, not respect of what they were doing. And I didn't see them bullying anyone else, but I heard that they were bullying other people, like in different parts of the hallways where I don't even go anymore. Not that I avoided, but I didn't have any classes that way. But if I did, I would tell them to knock it the hell off. But
it was like a guarantee of mutual destruction if something went down. That's when they were like, okay, let's just steer clear of that, because if this gets bad, both of us are going to get hurt badly.
Probably.
Right, and that's why they didn't do anything. I had a similar experience in military school my first 2 years there. Like, I was the smallest runt, and I got my butt kicked pretty much every single freaking day. Until, like, what started happening was I started, like, basically not necessarily fighting back, but, like, learning where people hurt. Because I couldn't fight back. I wasn't strong enough to. But as soon as I started figuring where like body parts really hurt, and I'm not talking about like the private areas, I'm just talking in general, like kidneys, like muscle groups and stuff like that, and started really hurting people. Like when they would come after me, like just one really good punch with your fingers, just kind of like that, and just kind of really aim at a good point on the body. All of a sudden, then people stopped bullying me, stopped treating me like that. And it was the same thing too. We didn't become friends. But it was like this mutual respect where they just knew it's like, oh, I can't mess with him. He's not easy prey. Because what I've realized is that people who mess with other people like that, they're broken. And broken people try to make other people broken. And just don't fall into it. Don't fight back like that or anything like that. Like, but give them a good little jab every once in a while to show them.
Exactly.
Now, Jimmy, I want to talk to you a little bit about your business as a crazy fitness guy. And how I want you to share a little bit how fitness and autism can work together, how people with autism can really benefit from fitness, and if they are challenged, what are some ways that they can overcome those challenges?
Well, when I was younger, I had a lot of autism meltdowns, which is different than a tantrum. It just like you had this, I would explain it like pretend you had like a nuclear bomb going off in the back of your mind. It's literally like that, where you feel like everything is just crumbling down around you, and it's not a fun feeling at all. And I wouldn't even say it's like, I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say it's depression. It's just a bunch of emotions built up and like in the back of your in your head, and it's just exploding all around. And so after having a lot of those, and I was on this medication to just to help me with those. But I did not like the feeling that I was on the medication, because one, it was causing some of my weight gain, and plus my unhealthy eating habits at that time was unhelpful as well. But I didn't like this medication, and I kind of found, I don't know if you ever seen the like newer Joker movie recently, but
yes, yeah.
Well, you know how he always pretended to be happy around other people, but he's really like he was so depressed and everything. Well, that medicine made me feel like I wasn't like depressed, but it just made me feel like, yeah, I'm super happy. And it's like, oh gee, I look like, I don't know, I'm just forcing everything. And I was like, if I want to be ticked off, I'm going to be ticked off. If I want to be happy, I'm going to be happy. And I was like, I don't want to feel just one emotion, because then it's like, what's wrong with this person? He's smiling at a funeral. Or, I mean, I never smiled at a funeral, but I don't know.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Or the other thing at a funeral, you don't say "my bad."
Yeah,
That's true
that's a
too,
good
right?
idea.
So Jimmy, how does fitness work with autism? Like how can you somebody who does have autism want to get into the fitness, start working out? How can they start, doing that, building some healthy habits? Start with a workout plan. What do you recommend, being the crazy fitness guy that you are?
Well, I would say, well, for me, when I'm looking for a new workout program on Beachbody On Demand, I look for something I know I can do. I stick to maybe, I don't know, let's say around like 40 minutes, maybe 30 to 40 minutes, let's just say on average, because I always have a busy schedule these days, unfortunately. I mean, I don't say unfortunately, but there's some days it's just more hectic than others. And it's like, ouch, too much in one day. And I would also say, try to know what, like, start light and maybe look for, try to build up to like 6 days a week, or stick to a consistent schedule. What I found for myself for the Beachbody On Demand workouts is that even though that they say that this workout program is done 6 days a week, if 6 days a week is not the right number for you, try 3 days a week, try two days a week, build up to it. Like for me, the reason why I stuck with 6 days a week is just because I didn't know for myself. I just like the way how I feel. You can even ask my parents that the days when I don't work out or at all, I'm not saying like all the time, but if I'm taking a day off myself, I'm perfectly okay. But if I miss my workout because of something like my website breaking, or someone wanted to see my house for selling purposes, and I miss my workout, I become like the Incredible Hulk. It's not green, and I don't become like 7 foot tall, but
Sure. Well, because you built in the routine, and that's a high priority to you. That's a strong value that you have, being healthy and staying fit. And trust me, I know that feeling. I've been there myself many times when I was on a structured routine, and I always made my workouts part of my work day. That I wasn't able to go home until I got my workout complete. And if I missed it for one reason or another, I would get that way as well. Start hulking out, being frustrated with myself, that I missed it, because it's part of me, living that lifestyle.
And plus, I would also say, I wouldn't even just say that it's that that every autistic person loves schedules. It is that I like something that is just happening I know what's happening throughout the day. It's not some random pop-up event, and it's like, hey, can you talk right now? And it's like, well, it was a friend or a parent, fine. Anybody else who just like, hey, can you give me some tips? And it's like, well, if you schedule for a time with me for 30 minutes or 15 minutes, I'll be more than happy to. But
there you go.
Like, I give you an example. Somebody just literally messaged me the other day on social media asking for some blogging tips, and I wanted to help, but I was like smack down right in the middle of the day, working. And I was like, well, if you schedule time with me, I would love to be able to give you some tips. And she's like, okay, sure, let's do it tomorrow then. I was like, okay, well, I can do that. I was like, but just to start having the long conversations, like, geez Louise. I was like,
Sure, no, I get that. People need to value other people's time, and I think you did a great job stating that, hey, let's schedule an appointment. Now all you have to do is throw in, hey, by the way, this is my cost. This is my fee.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because you have value.
Yeah, because you're giving value. You don't want to just give away all your goods. People need to buy them because you have something valuable that they want.
Yeah. Reasonable price for them, $500 an hour for Google.
There you go. Hey, Jimmy, what are some healthy ways that people can eat, especially if they are, living a life with autism?
You said eat?
Yeah. How do you have any recommendations about, effective ways to eat or to, good eating habits to help you lose weight or stay in shape?
Yeah, for me, I love eating a lot of fish. I eat a lot of salmon, tuna occasionally, sharks, swordfish. I love lobster at times when I also, I'm a big fan of fish, chicken, lean meats. I like having my yogurt in the morning from breakfast. For my breakfast, I have Cheerios, just the plain Cheerios, no honey, because what's really interesting about the Honey Nut Cheerios is that it's natural honey, but then at the very next to it says plus 11 grams of added sugars. And it's like, well, I get that honey is sugar, but why is there added sugar on the? Where's the other sugar coming from? I don't know.
Sure.
And then I like to have my fruits for breakfast, like banana in my cereal or blueberries. But for lunch, since I use a lot of Beachbody products, I use Shakeology. And just because I don't like, I'm not a big fan of lunch, and because it's just like right down and smack down in the middle of the day. And I just like to keep going with my work. And I found it just kind of annoying, just like, wait, I'm going to have to dirty up the kitchen just to make lunch. And it's like, I don't want to do that. And so the shake, and it's not like soup. It's not, I wouldn't say cheap. It's not cheap, but I find it's worthwhile for me because I don't have to dirty up the kitchen as much.
Sure.
And it is a nice quick thing I can take on the go if I need to, and it gets all my nutrients in the meal when I'm missing. And and it saves me from going out to get a sandwich or buying lunch meat that looks like rat poison is mixed in there. Slime and gooey. It's like a Krabby Patty on SpongeBob.
There you go. Now, Jimmy, you shared a lot with us here today. We talked about bullying. We talked about, how to overcome that, your stance, how you, face these bullies. We talked about health and fitness and how to work out, especially if you do have autism. We talked about, eating a healthy lifestyle. We really covered a lot of great information today, and I can see why your business is growing so successfully as the Crazy Fitness Guy. But I want to just take a moment. I want to get some thoughts from Fred and Chris to see how they feel right now about what's resonating with them from this show tonight. Chris, why don't you share a little bit?
I think the bullying is the part that I resonate the most with, because I love how you stood up to them, but at the same time you were in control of yourself and they were not in control of themselves at all. Like you knew what their agenda was and you were going to end it right there. You already knew where it was going. And yeah, you did it in the classroom. You stood up to them. But anyway, dude, I love the fact that you feel bad that you disrupted the class. That's great. But at the same time, like, you got to stand in for yourself. Especially if the principal takes like 100 freaking times for the principal to hear you out. Like, you got to stand up for yourself eventually.
Exactly.
No, that is a great job, Jimmy, and I hope people are hearing that that, you know, if one person can't help you, there is somebody out there that can help you one way or another. So don't stop. Keep being resourceful and find somebody that can help you so this bullying can stop. Fred Martinez, what's your thoughts this evening? Any additional health tips you can give Jimmy?
Well, I just want to reiterate the whole thing about what Jimmy was talking about and what Chris also talked about on bullies. It's a thing of, with bullies, the one thing that I see that resonates, I think, with a lot of people is that we want to be heard and we want to be part of something. And whereas these individuals that we're bullying, they're doing it because of a place of, as Chris said earlier, they're coming from a broken space and they want everybody else to be broken. And when you're kind of talking about the crabs, you know, here, have you heard this analogy of, you got a bucket of crabs and you got a crab that's climbing out of the bucket, and then the other crabs will pull that crab back into the bucket because they don't want that crab to succeed. So basically, when you look at what's going on, you're living a totally different life. And those individuals are afraid of that. And so they want to pull you back into their world. And that's what happens in life. We're always going to get bullied in some form or fashion, but realizing that they're coming from a place of being hurt rather than being a loving space. And the one thing I want to say too is Jimmy, how you were acting as the peaceful warrior, knowing that you did not lay a single punch, but you did make a difference in your life by standing up for what you believe in. And individuals will look at you and they're going to respect you for that, because people who do not stand up for themselves are going to be continuously getting kicked dirt in their face. Whereas you just said enough's enough, and they respect you for that. And that's a valuable lesson that you're going to learn, or that you learned, that you're going to go on for the rest of your life, that standing up for what you believe in. And that's one thing I see from what you're doing, is standing up for your belief and also living this extraordinary life by living a healthy lifestyle. And you're realizing that you love working out and your food. You're realizing that you're like a 1%er. How many people are out there are eating healthy, or even getting up and making priorities of working out? So I commend you on that, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Jimmy, we're coming to the end of our show here, unfortunately, but I want people to be able to get in touch with you, either to learn about fitness, or maybe they want to just talk about, get some coaching from you or blogging information. What is the best ways they can go about doing that?
They can go to CrazyFitnessGuy.com. Anybody could see on my website, Crazy Fitness Guy is literally on a lot of different platforms. Mm-hmm. I had some people tell me that it's too many, and I was like, for you, but...
Jimmy, you got to be on all the platforms to be out there, right? You got to be branded and get the attention that you need.
Exactly. And then but you can also find me at jimmy.clare.speaker or Facebook and Instagram, and you can follow me at Jimmy Clare Speak on Twitter. God forbid I can't get the ER for Twitter. 17 is just one too many for Twitter.
Hey, we have the same problem with our name as well, so I get that. I understand that completely. So if anybody is out there looking for some fitness tips, looking to learn the blog, just need somebody to talk to, or is looking for a motivational speaker for their next event, get a hold of Jimmy Clare. He is the Crazy Fitness Guy, and I know he would love to be out there sharing his stories, helping change the world, and teaching other people how to be extraordinary. This is your host and coach, Len DeCarmine, here at the Extraordinary Being Movement, along with my partners, Chris Shiver and Fred Martinez. We want to thank you for being here with us. If you'd like to get more information about Jimmy, you can always check him out, but you can always go on the extraordinarybeingmovement.com website, where we'll have information there about Jimmy, along with all of our other coaches our podcast shows, trainings, and so much more. We are excited because we are growing in leaps and bounds, so keep checking us out on a regular basis because we have new things constantly popping up. We wish you the best and to your success. Have a great night. Bye now.